Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Sofa Stories, where we go behind the scenes at ChargedEV and showcase more of the personal side of the brand and the people behind ChargedEV itself. Today we've got Jez on the podcast, and today we're going to find out a little bit more about Jez and what he does. So, Jez, who are you? How long have you been here, and what do you do?
So almost exactly 2 years. So when I joined the company in 22, I was the QS for the North team. Back then, that consisted of sort of 15 guys, which is very different to where we are now. And then about 6 months ago, I was promoted to National Installation Manager, and have basically been taking care of the expansion of the business, recruiting new people, getting our solar offering off the ground while still maintaining the EV side of things and keeping the volume high on that side. Quite a varied role, fingers in lots of pies, both sort of planning and execution, operational stuff. At the moment, we're obviously in the middle of a big recruitment drive, taken on quite a few regional managers, so they've taken quite a lot of the load off me when it comes to the day-to-day operational stuff, but it's still involved to some degree.
Awesome. If you could describe your work or describe your job in 3 words, what would it be?
I would say probably planning, communication, organisation.
Nice. What's your favourite thing about working at ChargedEV?
Really the team that I work with. So my direct boss is Dave Hill. We've got a really good working relationship. We've worked really closely, especially over the last 6 months, expanding. We've had some big contract wins recently, so that's required us to sort of coordinate our efforts and really push quite hard to get that over the line. We're coming to the end of the recruitment side of things. We're ultimately going to get towards 100 installers out in the field, easily the biggest full-time employed domestic installer in the country. Obviously with that comes challenges, maintaining quality while doing higher volume, all that sort of thing. Like I mentioned before, the regional managers are going to be instrumental in that. The team in general, everyone I work with here, the atmosphere in this office is great. It's you never sort of wake up in the morning and think, oh God, I'm in the office today, because I do a hybrid role, so I'm not here every day. Everyone from top to bottom is really good to work with.
Awesome. I was going to say that has been a really common theme. Like everyone's just said, the people, the workplace, just the overall vibe. Like it's a lot different to, most places that are more sort of office space and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I mean, moving here last April to the new office has made a big difference. Obviously that's tied to the expansion. But where we were before, it was getting to the point where everyone was sort of shoulder to shoulder constantly. Yeah. We were having to sort of force people to work from home because we just didn't have enough desks. To go from there to come to somewhere like this, which is obviously a brand new refurbed office. It really is. All the facilities and everything are what we need to achieve what we need to achieve. So. Obviously we find that we get Northgate coming in quite a lot and pinching our conference rooms, because it's probably one of, if not the nicest office in the group at the moment.
I was going to say, I love it. I spend a lot of time here, to be fair. And the next question, now we're going into the more personal stuff. What's something that you're good at?
Something that I'm good at. Well, I'm a father of 2 kids. I like to think that I do all right in that department. 2 boys who are obsessed with football and all the other stuff that comes with being a small boy. Yeah. Just organising their lives is almost a full-time job. Obviously, I can't take all the credit. Yeah. My wife is heavily involved in all of that side of things. Just supporting them, making sure that they're happy and healthy and all the rest of it, I suppose, is probably my main focus outside of work. God knows what I'll do once they leave home. It's either work or parenting at the moment. So
peace and quiet, I can imagine.
yeah, which I'll deal with pretty well. I'm not sure how well the wife will deal with an empty nest, but yeah, it'll definitely be a rest. I mean, the expression "coming to work for a rest" maybe has applied at times, but certainly not over the last few months.
Yeah, and following up from that last question, what's something you'd like to improve on, and how would you go about doing so?
Something I'd like to improve on, perhaps maximising my downtime. I mean, I feel like my sort of, work personal life balance is pretty good, but there are times when I'll, obviously it's important to relax and sort of switch off, but there are times when I'll sort of have a nothing day, and sort of hang around with the kids at home and not really get much done. And I find that at the end of that day, sometimes I sort of regret not doing more with it. Obviously the kids are only going to be young once, so perhaps sort of focusing more on, what comes, after Friday at 5 o'clock. What's going to happen then. So yeah, I'd say that's probably. Yeah, you can tell I'm pretty. Work and looking after the kids is everything at the moment. So
that is good though. Like, I think we've had so many different answers. Like every single podcast, that's one thing I've liked so far about doing all these podcasts is everybody's answers. Like, apart from obviously about the work related stuff with like the work vibe and things, like everyone's said pretty much similar stuff, or say similar stuff, different stuff in terms of like what they want to do in terms of improving on things and what they do in their own time. And then as we get further down the questions, everyone's dreams are different as well, but there's some dreams that some people have said which were quite intriguing that I wasn't really expecting either, which is quite good. Here's the next question. This one's quite a good one. This is another one where people's answers, I wouldn't say caught me off guard, but were quite surprising. But this one is, if you could switch roles with anyone in work, who would it be and why?
Oh, that is a good one. I don't know. I suppose the obvious one would be Mark.
Yeah.
I know he works very hard. Definitely didn't say that because he just walked past. But no, he gets to see everything from a high level. Go out, meet people, bring in partners, contracts, build relationships with people. And just sort of. So I come from a self-employed background, so I had my own business for nearly 20 years before I came here. And there are times when I miss that level of control, where everything is coming back to me, because obviously, while I have quite a wide-ranging role on the operational side of the business, when it comes to the office side and, all the comms with the customer and all that sort of thing, I have less control now. Yeah. Included in some of it, do have a view of some of it, but yeah, just sort of having that overall view of how to put it, so what everyone's striving for at a given moment, so what goals that each individual team's got. I think that sort of overall view is really appealing. It's got a pretty decent car as well. So
Yeah,
that'd definitely be a bonus.
Yeah, and following up for that question, it is, what was it? If you could switch lives with anybody for the day outside of work, they can be literally anybody, famous, not famous, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
I have this conversation with my wife sometimes, and the first answer that springs to mind is probably goes against what I was saying earlier about wasting days, but my cat seems to have a really easy life, and he literally just eats and sleeps. But in terms of people, I don't know, if I was younger, sort of professional sportsman life seems pretty good. I mean, I played rugby when I was younger for Sheffield, but never professionally or anything like that. But I think, obviously not now that I'm in my 40s, but back then, sort of getting up, training, it's all about training, resting, diet, all that sort of thing. And obviously the financial benefits of that would be great. No,
definitely.
The jet set lifestyle, they'll probably only get about 2 or 3 weeks off these days in Premier League, but just having that financial freedom just to literally do whatever you want. So some sort of professional sportsman, I would say.
No, that's a good answer. Very good answer. Even though there's no right or wrong answers, but it's a good answer. And then the final question, this one's probably one of my favourite ones, is, do you have a dream? what is your dream, and how are you going to go about obtaining that dream?
So that's probably changed for me recently. So when I was working for myself, had my own business and stuff, it was always sort of grow the business to a point where, the family was financially secure. When I was even younger, when my wife and I first met, it was sort of make a happy home and have a family and all that sort of thing. I suppose I'd go back to the kids at this point, just making sure that they're provided for, and I feel like, I'm on the right track for that. But in terms of like a dream, I think that's it, to be honest. Just family related, just making sure that, my loved ones are cared for and all the rest of it. So,
No, another good answer. We've had quite a few of those ones as well, to be fair. That's a good answer. But that brings us to the end of all of our questions. But thanks for coming on, Jez. We do appreciate it. Obviously, we're trying to get more people on, and being in front of 3 cameras isn't for the faint-hearted, I'd say.
It's a first for me.
Yeah. So. But yeah, thanks for coming on. We hope you guys have learned a bit more about Jez and his role that he plays at ChargedEV, and more about himself. And yeah, we will see you guys in the next episode. So thanks for watching. Bye-bye.